for Pitts. Intercepted by Ray Hubble, who may go all the way again. He's going to be cut off near the sideline. He was tripped by a man standing in front of the Winnipeg bench.
First down, Edmonton with the football. McManus going up top for Eddie Brown. What a catch! Eddie Brown! Touchdown, Edmonton! Penalty markers down all over the field.
Illegal substitution, too many men on the field, Saskatchewan.
From 33 yards out to win the 97th Grey Cup. Ball down, ball through.
What's up, Football A podcast fans? There's only a few of you, but you are some of the most loyal people in the world. Look, you're seeing me, Bryce Hopwood, here for the first time. There are special people on this screen that you'll see in just a second. There's more than just Ant and I. I should get this out of the way quick before, but no episode last week. My second child came, so here we are. This is going to be, I think, most of the episode this week. Ant, say a quick hello.
Yeah, hello. Sorry. Sorry we missed last week, but it was for a happy reason. This week the episode is going to be a little bit shorter because I have COVID this week, so I'm not feeling great. So just about a couple weeks for the pod, but we're here.
You can't be having these kinds of performances down the stretch, but like I said, there's a third person here, which makes this all better. He is from Mountain View, Missouri, a very small town in Missouri, product of Western Illinois. He's a leatherneck. He is Ottawa Red Black wide receiver, Jaelon Acklin. Jaelon, thank you so much for your time today, dude. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just wanted to give a shout out to Bryce. Congrats on the second kid. That's awesome. Just had my first. I'm doing good. Just went back home for bye week. So we're not doing anything this week. I figured my brother's coaching out here in Missouri, so I just came to come by, see the fam. I haven't saw them in a while, so just hanging out, trying to rest and recover.
Dude, I love to hear it. I'm glad to hear you're resting. I told you, we're pretty relaxed and whatnot. But I do have one hard hitting journalism question. I read something, or actually I listened. There was a guy in the media who said he didn't really, he loves the CFL. And he said he needed somebody to not like, and he picked you. What would you say to that person, especially if they were talking right now and on the Zoom call?
If he said you had to pick a person, he said that? I mean,
he may have said it in week 2, in week 2 or 3 this year, and then immediately regretted it. So,
I mean, I'd probably say I don't give a damn.
That's fair.
That's just everyone's gonna have people that don't like him, especially in this sport. Like, there's people who don't like Justin Jefferson. Guy's a chill dude, runs nice ass routes. There's gonna be people that don't like everyone. There's people that didn't like Tim Tebow. I don't know if that guy's ever done anything wrong to someone. So, I used to get caught up in stuff like that because I wanted everyone to like me, and my mom kind of brought me up that way that everyone should like you and you need to do everyone to make other people happy, but it's honestly unobtainable. So I just kind of got this, I don't give a damn. I just got to be myself and then, be the best friend, teammate, father that I can be, and then let everyone else make decisions for themselves about me. But yeah, that would just be it. No disrespect though. I just really wouldn't care.
No, that's fine. I said it. It was specifically, there was a first down. It might have been early in the year. I'm an Als fan. So it might have been against us, I think. And I was just I love the CFL, and I have only been fans for less than a year. And I said I didn't like you. And then I immediately turned that around.
It was the very next week. The very next week, he was like, "Oh, actually, he's kind of awesome. I kind of like him. Actually, I retract that." I was like, "All right, man."
Yeah, So I have no backbone, but no, that's a very cool perspective to hear. And I mean, I kind of brought up where you're from because I think it's an awesome story. I'm from a town of about 7,000. You're from one that's even smaller, like you mentioned, and you're obviously a big family person. Um, and so I think that's a great. I think that's great to hear because you've kind of taken the road less traveled, if you will, with going the FCS route for college football in America, and now you're up in the CFL, having a ton of success, which I want to talk about. But yeah, I guess I want to apologize for my words first, so you could hear it from me.
You don't have
But
to apologize, brother. Like it's
no,
totally fine. There's been times where I'm watching TV and I'm huge Broncos fan, and I'd be like, I hate Philip Lindsay, but I know Philip Lindsay personally, and he's like the greatest dude ever. Like you're just watching shit, and then you're just making your own. You're just saying it. I just hate that guy. I respect it though.
That's fair.
yeah, you know what? I appreciate that. You're a good sport about it. The first thing
Yeah.
with our time that I want to talk about too is you scored your first CFL touchdown on the 4th of July. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, the old the Independence Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was back in 2019. I guess you weren't an Owls fan then, but they looked a lot different. They looked a lot different. It was shoot. I scored it on Greg Reed. I ran a fade route. Jeremiah Masoli threw it. Yeah. On the 4th of July.
There you go.
Mm.
American fireworks up in the Great White North. So that's actually, I think that's kind of the theme of this interview at the end of the day, because we, like I said, we've been fans for less than our 1 year anniversary, if you will, getting all cute with it, is coming up here. And so as I started to do more research on you and that kind of stuff, I thought, like I said, first of all, the road less traveled, which we found out mutual, we know people, but I just find it so interesting now how obviously the shorter contracts and that kind of stuff and the people you've played with, because we talked preseason about how we thought Ottawa was going to stink, put it plainly. But as I started to do the research and see the last couple years, I mean, obviously Coach Dice has been your coach since 2022, and there's a lot of pieces for you guys that have been the same since then.
Yeah.
Through some of these tough seasons. Talk to me a little bit about that, because in a league that has a lot of switching around, you guys have been able to find some consistency and a lot of success.
Yeah, they kind of laid a foundation for what what we wanted. Obviously I didn't lay it. I'm just a construction worker, right? Like I don't have any charge in, who's on the team, but Dice had his guys on special teams that kind of laid the foundation, and then, we just built pieces from there on out. And we built a winning culture. The last 3 weeks we've kind of hit some bumps in the road, but yeah, we're like bringing in Tommy too. Like I worked with Tommy which is our offensive coordinator in Hamilton in 2019 and 2021, which we went to 2 Grey Cups with him.
Yeah.
So, we got some continuity in that too, with like some old Hamilton guys, even bringing Malden, Santos Knox, Jeremiah. I'm
Addison,
pretty sure we have one more. Oh, we have Bingham now too. Oh yeah, Braylon. Yeah, Braylon. So, just guys who know how to win, know how to get to the Grey Cup, and just we had a foundation already with those special teams players who had been to the East semifinal, but yeah, we just got to keep building on that.
Talk to me a little bit about, obviously, like you're from small town Missouri, and you go to your first 2 seasons, you're in the Grey Cup, kind of what that emotion is like, or, kind of that cool sense of things. Because obviously a ton of Americans, a ton of Canadians on those teams. Talk to me a little bit about that, about what that's like from your perspective.
Yeah, it was sick. I went to Western Illinois, so I didn't get to play in like big games, like televised games. So it's something that you always dream up as a kid. Even I'm sure whenever you went to Mount Horeb games, whenever you were little, you were like, you thought that was the coolest thing. And then I did the same thing with my high school. And then, once you play in high school, you just want to see how far you can go with it. And yeah, playing on ESPN2, primetime game. It was cool. I mean, I wish we would have won, but the experience is, only 1% of kids get to play on national TV. So it was pretty cool. It was a cool experience.
you mentioned kind of the upbringing, and this is something that I clearly have a worker's attitude, which I love. Talk to me. Do you have any advice for some of those guys that are in the FCS? Because I mean, we see like guys like Ty Bev for the Owls here
That's nasty.
from
I played with him at
Stony Brook.
Hamilton too. The guy was
Yeah,
nasty.
exactly. And like there's a ton of really good FCS players. I mean, there's some guys obviously who've come from the FBS level, but it seems like there's a path there. What would your advice be to a guy who's playing at the top of the FCS level? I mean, obviously you spent time on getting a shot at the NFL and that kind of stuff, but would you advocate for the CFL? I guess is what I'm saying to those guys. Like, hey, if you want to keep playing, this is a great option.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, FCS, D2, D3. I think Cole Speaker went to a D3 school, I believe. Or was it D2? Yeah.
D3,
and like, yeah, I like everyone's goal is obviously the NFL. Like that's number one. But like if you can't go to the NFL, like CFL pays very good money, especially if you're good, at your position. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it enough, just like straight numbers from what you make. Hell, I was working on my car or my mom's car, I guess. I went and got the battery changed, and the guy was like, "You make any good money up there?" And it's like, dude, you make like $200K a year, Yeah. Like I'm never going to make that money again. So I just feel like we kind of keep our salaries like hush hush in the CFL. And so you can make a living off of it though. And it's a great league. Obviously fans got guys like you who just new fans. You got people who have been fans since the 60s. So, and the places are always sold out. So it is, I would advocate a lot for it.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear that because it has seemed like a sick community, and I mean we've gotten a chance. Former teammate again, Caleb Evans, like he was our first guy coming on. I just reached out to him. Don't worry, the knee's coming along. Just talked to him a little bit like a couple days ago, but yeah, I wanted to kind of see what that was because, like you said, I mean, there's guys getting called up in the Major League Baseball, making like 500K, like playing, especially guys like football guys will play football till they can't go for that salary and that kind of stuff like you're mentioning as a top player. I mean like you said, it is pretty good money, and I think that's the one thing that I want to do as a fan to like obviously there's been American expansion and that's all above my head, but I think guys like you are a great option or a great person to look at for keeping the CFL cool and bringing it more down to America. I've talked way too much, and I'll let you take over some questions because I'm taking up all.
No, you're good. I just have 3 questions that I kind of ask like everybody who comes on because a lot of the people we bring on are Americans who went up there, and so I like to kind of get the perspective of like the transfer up there. So from a wide receiver standpoint, obviously there's a lot of different rules in the CFL. What was the hardest like transition to? Is it the waggle, or what was the transition like from American football to Canadian? Like
waggle and blocking, probably like interior, like D linemen and linebackers, because like obviously down south I wasn't blocked. I was just blocking the corner of their safety. It's kind of different blocking Darnell Sankey or. But you kind of have to learn leverage and stuff, and you can't be afraid. Like you just got to go in there and do it. That was the toughest. That was blocking interior D linemen and linebackers.
That's fair. Talking about your college days, you said that you didn't play in any big time games. I was looking up some of your old schedules. All right, so I saw your freshman year, which I don't know. I didn't look at the box scores to see how much run you were getting freshman year. Obviously, tough program, but like I saw you played Wisconsin that year. And then your sophomore year, you played Coastal and North Dakota State at the Fargo Dome. What was your favorite like road game that you had in college that you got to be a part of?
I will say, boys, I didn't play my first 3 years at Western Illinois.
Okay.
I was out partying and probably doing dumb stuff, and then I got my life straightened out my senior year. And but as far as like probably Wisconsin at Wisconsin was probably the coolest. The jump around, I think, is something that like I want my like girlfriend and Poppy, my child, to see that one day. Like it's one of the coolest experiences I've had. And like, same with Alabama, like whenever they sing, what do they, or Florida, Florida that sings Tom Petty. Yeah, Dixieland Delight. I won't back down. Like you don't get that anywhere else but college football. And so, yeah, I would say Wisconsin's jump around.
Hop will love that answer for
I live
sure.
20 minutes from Madison. I live 20 minutes
Wait.
from Madison, so yeah, if you need to bring Poppy and the family up here, I will do whatever it takes for you, brother.
Hey, I'd be down, dude. I need to go to some Big Ten games after I retire.
Yeah, if you
Hey,
ever
you got
want
a
to go to
couple years
Columbus,
left though.
I'm a big Buckeye guy. So if you ever want to go to Columbus, with or without Damon Webb, let me know.
Oh yeah. D Webb, that's my boy too.
Yeah.
That guy's strapped.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, he's nice.
Similar question, but for the
Those two
CFL
pick
standpoint.
sixes were so sick.
Oh, dude, he's so good. He's
No,
so good.
like he's nice. He's best boundary half in the league, I think.
Yeah, it could be. I saw, this is totally unrelated, not a question, but there was a guy, I can't remember his Twitter handle, but he was going through like most outstanding player candidates, and people keep bringing up Damon for most outstanding player, which is pretty incredible.
Damon,
especially in that position.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
those two are nice.
They're animals. But similar question to that college football one I just asked. Do you have a favorite road stadium or environment that you play at in the CFL? Obviously, you've been to all of them by now. So do you have a favorite one, or one that's maybe not as scary because of a dumb, like, I don't know, name of the stadium or something?
Like Princess Auto.
Princess Auto,
my
maybe.
favorite.
Yeah.
Princess Auto. No, my favorite's always been Montreal to go to. Just because it's really exploded in the past 2 years because they've been pretty good. But I don't know. Even whenever I was there, and that's where I scored my first touchdown. So it was kind of like always a place that I like playing. That was my first 100-yard game too, I think, in the CFL. But then second, I would say probably Sask, just because they got sick fans.
Noted. So funny enough, Hop's an Owls fan and I'm a Sask fan. So that was actually a perfect answer.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, it's like you're just catering to us.
I actually I want to let the audience.
We did not coach you. Just want to give
that
a
fan.
I appreciate the shout out to me and my people.
I do want to bring up, because just before, about a half hour before this interview, you're already a two-time All-Star. Now it's going to be the All-CFL, but you're currently a top vote getter in the East. What does that mean to you if you could go for a third time?
I don't know how I am. I don't even think I have 600. I mean, it would mean a lot to me. Yeah, but I haven't got to see the list, so I can't really make it. I don't know if is it like the fan vote stuff? Wait, can you hear me?
Probably. Let me see. Let me do my due diligence here. Top vote getters, all CFL East team: Bo Levi, Cody, Hardy, Shamar, you, Coxie, Drew, Philpott, Chad, Kelly, surprisingly. So yeah, this must be vote fan vote, and then Tim White.
Yeah, Tim's been playing pretty good too. I mean, obviously everyone wants to be CFL All-Star, but it doesn't do anything like to me, because I just want to focus on winning and making the East final and hopefully making the Grey Cup. So it would mean a lot, but it wouldn't in the long run. I don't really care about that stuff. I just do whatever we got to do to win football games.
I mean, you're the top of the class. Like I said, I think you're a great role model for guys to kind of see the path that you've taken.
Yeah,
and where you've ended up with your career is very impressive. Was it hard for you? You kind of mentioned the Grey Cups, going back-to-back Grey Cups, like the height of the league, and then to these last couple of years in Ottawa. Obviously, this year being a big turnaround, but what was that like?
Yeah, it was tough because we had some coaching changes too. Yeah, it was tough. It was different too. It's a different type of city than Hamilton, and rent was more expensive. It was crazy. I just thought everywhere was like Hamilton, and yeah, it was tough. But going on the third year, I think we've gotten stuff, kind of figured out. Gotten a lot more fun for me. Playing with Drew, built some lifelong friendships. So So it's been nice with Drew Brown, Dustin Crum, good dudes. Maybe you could have them on your show one day.
Like I said, I had kid number 2. My internet is really killing this whole thing, but I had kid number 2. You have Poppy. Talk to me about, I mean, the article that was written on it. You were like, I would say pretty emotional. It seemed like, at least, it's pretty endearing. My daughter's almost 5. Talk to me about Poppy and obviously your wife Ainsley. Talk to me about them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they mean the world to me. Whenever I have a tough day at practice or have a tough game or something, like we lose, like I always look forward, every day to seeing Poppy and Ainsley. I got to shout Ainsley out because she's there every single day with Poppy whenever I'm at practice. And, she had to do it all on her own without any help because her mom was in Hamilton. And, she's tougher than woodpecker lips, as we down in Missouri would say. So, yeah, it's tough to being the dad because, like, sometimes you feel like you can't do anything, or like there's not like a book on how to help your wife or your significant other because they're going through so much. But I can't even put into words how much Ainsley means to me and how much that she's helped me and, kind of shape my view on it. Life's not just all about football. It's about being a good husband and dad too. So yeah, it's been nice. And, she just got to where she's like sleeping on her stomach now, Poppy, and she's rolling over constantly. So I always got to watch her. Soon she'll be on her feet, probably falling down, and I'll be wrestling her and stuff. So I can't wait for that.
I love it, man. To hear you talk about it is a lot of the same feels here for sure. And I find it, I always find it interesting because it's a weird dynamic, like we talked about, the like not liking the guys we see on the screen sometimes for whatever reason, whether it be something stupid or whatever, but sometimes forgetting that they have, family at home and that kind of stuff. It's very cool to hear you talk about. And I think the perspective that you gave is great because, especially, I mean, like you said, I mean, this is you, and especially CFL, you guys play such a long season. It's pretty insane.
Oh no, dude. It's because I've been, rolling since April, I believe. So yeah. Oh, what are we on? October now? I even get lost in my days. Like it's been 6 months of just nonstop grind. But
October 2nd, yeah.
It is kind of crazy.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. So I like to hear that. And obviously too, I mean, you play such a violent sport. I mean, I'm glad you're okay, obviously, because that hit, I mean, that's gotta play a role as well. I didn't really want to bring it up, but obviously you're okay, you've played, which is great. But yeah, that was
it was all good. Just I was just knocked out. It wasn't, I had a little neck like pain, but it was just from like being stretched. There's nothing like structurally wrong, so we're all good.
rock and roll. Well, yeah, I'm glad you're okay because after I did walk back take early on in the season that I did like your game. And so then I felt bad after that I'd even said it, knowing I put it out there. So I felt a little bit guilty there. So appreciate that.
Yeah, don't feel
and you wanna ask the final one here? We've taken up enough of its time.
Yeah, this is as dumb Americans. This is our final wrap up to everybody who goes up to Canada.
All right.
What is your go-to Tim Hortons order as what is now an honorary Canadian? I assume you go to Tim Hortons. What's your go-to order there?
Oh man, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I don't really fuck with Tim Hortons like that. If I do go there, I just get like a black coffee because I don't trust the food usually. But like my girlfriend loves Tim Hortons, right? So I'll go get it for her. So I can say her order is a sausage biscuit and a iced caramel latte.
Okay.
So, but me personally, I'm not really about Tim Hortons. I'm more of a my own coffee, drip coffee, or like a Breville. I got a Breville espresso.
Okay. I can appreciate that. I don't know how
So you're a little.
The Canadian viewers are going to take that, but that's okay. That's okay.
I'm gonna say Canada. I made some money. I invested in a Breville. I got to use it. I'm not going to Tim Hortons. I can make my own omelet and have my own espresso. No offense to Tim Hortons, but I just don't. It's not my vibe.
That's true. That's true.
Plus, brother, I'm from down south.
That must be why Hamilton didn't re-sign you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were like, "Wait, you don't really like Tim Hortons like that?" And I was like, "Nah." And then they were like, "Get out of here."
How?
I was like, "Whatever."
Sent you to the Capitol instead. They'll take you.
Oh, well, Jaelon, I appreciate this. It hasn't been helpful that my internet is maybe some of the worst in the world. So we appreciate your time today. We took up way more than we meant to, for sure. I mean, I would, if you want to set something up with Dustin Crum, I've watched a lot of Dustin Crum football in my life, more than I would say a lot of America. So feel free to get something set up there, and we will say, he may be a father one day at some point.
Yeah. No, he will for sure. I'm roommates with Dustin now because my girl's going back to Hamilton, so I'll be with Dustin. I'll put in a good word.
It is appreciated, that's for sure.
Let's go.
He has family in West
DM'd him
Virginia.
before, so.
That.
You say he's got family in West Virginia?
Flag you got back there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his family's from West Virginia.
I'm a WVU alum, and next year I'll be moving to West Virginia. So with me and Dustin, we can chop it up about good old West Virginia. By God. Yes.
By God. Right. Hey, I appreciate y'all having me though. For real.
Thank you. Thank you for taking time to talk with us.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we'll let you go while Hop's internet is still kicking up. So thank you again, and we'll talk to you sometime.
All right. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys.